All right, I think we are live and we are going to be kicking this off in about 3 to 4 minutes. What I want you guys to do as you are coming in, because this is a live broadcast and a live workshop, I want to know who we have here today. I want to see who we have and where you're from. So put your first name, where you're tuning in from in the chat, whether you are, if you're on the actual workshop platform that we're on right now, or if you are on YouTube. Hopefully YouTube is broadcasting this as well, but just in the comments area, go ahead, put your first name, where you're tuning in from in the chat, and love to know where everyone is tuning in from. Okay, so let me just talk about really quickly what we're going to be covering here in this workshop. Number one, we're going to be talking all about list building. And what I mean by that is how do we get people that are in our market to raise their hand so we know that they're interested in our market, and then we can potentially sell them stuff down the line. That's really what we're going after as like the overall, like in the beginning, that's what we want to get, right? But long term, we're building this asset. And the asset is really there for us to be able to get brand loyalty. We're also going to be able to use the email list to then also share our content and social platforms, all of that stuff. So there's so much more that goes into just making the sale, but I'm going to share with you actually through this process how we've done it in a new brand, how we've built an email list over 7,000. Actually, right now we're currently over 27 or 28,000 emails, but it also allowed us to launch our first 5 products in this brand. And I'm going to show you some numbers here in a second and show you how this list has helped us leverage the people and the sales to also help us rank and get our momentum going on Amazon. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today. Chris, before we get rocking and rolling, do you want to cover anything as far as questions, and then from there we can get rocking and rolling?
Absolutely. So we do like to leave the chat open throughout all of these workshops. That's one of the reasons that we call them workshops, not lectures, not master classes, right? We want to have that interaction with you guys. So if you do have any questions as we work our way through our material here today, make sure you leave them in the chat. Like Scott said, if you're watching it inside of the webinar platform, it's going to be along the right-hand side. I believe it's there if you're watching it natively on YouTube as well. And if you have any questions at any point, make sure you leave them in there. We are going to stay on at the end for a little bit of Q&A to help you guys break through all of those questions and make sure that they get answered before you leave. Scott, I also want to let you know, just because I'm curious a lot of times when we jump on, we got well over 100 people on with us right now. And I want to know, do people already have a customer list, right? 91% right now it's 88 and they made me a liar, are saying no. They don't. So they're just getting started. And some people have already attempted this process and are doing that. And that's kind of typical of what we see in the e-commerce space and in the business space in general. And so I think for everybody that's on here, whether you've already started this or you're just getting started, you're trying to understand what a list is, why you need it, and how we use our lists. I think you're going to get a lot of information here today. And I know, Scott, we have a lot to cover and we are going to move fairly quickly. So, strap in, turn off all of the distractions, do all that kind of stuff, because both Scott and I have a ton of stuff that we're going to be covering. We're going to try to keep this under 2 hours for you guys so you can get on with the rest of your day. So we do speak pretty quickly, and that can also lead to some other questions. So if anything doesn't make sense, anything pops up, make sure you leave it right there in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions you have, we want this to be, number one, informative, but we want you guys to actually understand what to do next and where to really start, because some of you are starting from scratch. So I want to give you guys some real examples, but I also want to give you guys the actual strategy and then how to implement it, because I think it's really important to be able to implement, not just learn it. You got to actually get out there and do it. And I know you guys are going to have questions, so we're definitely going to be answering those. So Chris, I'm ready to rock and roll because I know that we have a lot to cover. Here's how we're going to do it though, guys. I'm going to basically get things rocking and rolling. I'm going to take you through like the overview. And then from there, I'm going to turn it over to Chris. Chris is going to dig into really about the list building side of things, as far as the ins and outs, as far as like what it will take, the different components. And then from there, we will then come back over to me and I'm going to share with you a case study on how we've done this in a new market. Actually, we just did it again, and we just repeated that strategy, but I'm going to show you and I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do it. Also, any tech stuff, and we're going to kind of cover that as well, because I know a lot of people are like, well, this sounds great and everything, but the tech kind of gets me. I'm going to show you how it really only takes 2 pages, and we're going to be able to build those pages really quickly, and I'm going to show you how. So, Chris, are we ready to rock and roll?
One other thing really quick, just because somebody brought it up in the chat, and it's a great time to remind everybody, if you run into any tech issues, make sure that you hit the reconnect button or just hit refresh in your browser if you're watching with us on YouTube. As we start to pile some people on here, it can slow down. Our audio might get off a little bit from the video. So if you have any of those issues, hit that reconnect button. If you just can't figure it out, let us know inside of the chat, and we'll get you squared away that way as well.
All right, cool. So I just switched over to our slides. I am going to get off camera here. So this way here we can save on bandwidth. But this is what we're going to be talking about right here, guys. Product launch, list building, and really how to do it most effectively. All right. And really growing your business using assets that you can control. And there's a good reason why we want to do this. And the very first reason is Amazon has changed the rules once again. Now, this happened it was in internet years, it's a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. All right. And the bad news is this. All right. There's no more discounts in exchange for reviews. So, back in the day, we're talking like a little over a year ago, you could give away product at a discount in exchange for a review as long as there was a disclaimer in there. No longer can you do that. No longer should you do that. So that's also going to make it harder to launch products, because a lot of people are finding that they want to launch products, but they want to get more reviews, and they're picking products that need a lot of reviews. But what we're doing is we're finding products that don't need a lot of reviews, but we want to be able to launch products really easily by using our own list, which makes it a lot easier. But the bad news is, if you're going with the old methods, it is going to be harder. It's going to be harder to boost sales. It's going to be harder to rank for keywords. And for those of you that aren't familiar with keywords, and I think you guys are, but I'm just going to say it, a keyword is when someone types in something, stainless steel garlic press, let's say, you will come up in search. If you want to come up in search, you need to get sales for that keyword. And it's going to be a lot harder to do that if you don't have an asset like your own list. Now, the good news is this: we can build our own targeted list. We can launch products easier, in my opinion. We can boost sales whenever we want, and we can control our own assets, okay? Our real assets, all right? So what I mean by that, an asset is something that you own in a sense, right? Well, if you build your own list, you technically own that list. You don't own the people. They can get off anytime they want. But if you do a really good job, which we're going to go through that, if you do a really good job of connecting with those people and giving value, or just even great discounts, there's a pretty good chance they're going to stay on your list. And that's an asset that you control. All right. So I just want to be very, very clear on that. All right. So the power of a list, let's get right into it. All right. This was a new brand that we started from scratch. And because we were able to build a list, we were able to do this in a very short period of time. Okay. In less than 2 months, this is, or actually just about 2 months. I think that is, over 1,371 unit sales. Okay. From scratch, guys. Okay. And a lot of this was because we built that list. So product number 1, we used a list that we built, which wasn't that big at the time. And we were able to launch that product and sell 250 units, okay, in a very short period of time. Now, by doing that, we spiked the algorithm inside of Amazon, okay, and we've gotten exposure now, and now the organic side of things starts to take hold, okay? Now, product number 2, very similar, 156 units. Again, we're going after products that aren't that competitive, so 156 units, that's really good, and that will help us rank. That's product number 2. Product number 3, we did 120, okay, in sales in a very short period of time as well. Okay. And this was like, it was the 9th, and then it was to the 14th. So not that long, right? So because we were able to do that, we're getting sales right out of the gate when we launch from a list that we control, okay, and an asset. 187 units on product number 4, and then product number 5, 314 units, okay? Again, guys, this was done because we had a list, all right? We were able to do this. Now, the cool thing is you can do this over and over again once you get new products. So you can sell them 1 product, you can sell them 3 products, sell them 5 products, all right? You can also tell them you got a special coming up, and then you can offer, maybe they're going to give it as a gift, right? So when you have this list, it's not just a one-off like in the past where you would then go to a review group and you would say, hey, go buy my product, and people would buy it once, right? That's not what we're after here. We're after getting sales whenever we launch and then after. So the old way was like this, right? The review groups, right? You guys probably all remember that. And if you don't, it's where people would raise their hand because they wanted to receive a discount. Okay. They aren't technically in our market. They're just basically people that just want a discount on products. Okay. The new way, and in my opinion is the better way, is a targeted list. I like fishing gear, right? Because I'm into fishing. We get people to raise their hand in that market. And there's a few different ways to do this. And I'm going to share that with you. You get them to raise their hand. We know that they're in that market. They're not just looking for a deal. Okay. They're looking for things that are in that market. All right. That's the difference. That is the new way. And to me, that's the better way. All right. Now, what we're going to be covering here today is how we were able actually to get 7,160 emails in 30 days in a new market, basically brand new market. And we did it as a test. All right, that we were able to, again, start from scratch, get 7,160 people to raise their hand in 30 days. And now we know that we can speak to those people in this market. All right, so that's what we're going to be covering here today. At this point, this is where I'm going to turn it over to Chris. Chris, are you ready to kind of take over and start digging into a little bit more about list building?
As long as all the technology works, I think I'm ready to go. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you fine.
Awesome. So Scott, you mentioned that today we're going to cover, 7,160 emails in 30 days and how we got those in a market that we didn't know anything about. But the other thing that I want to let everybody know is we've been able to do this again and again and again, right? And get tens of thousands. In fact, in our new brand, our list is over 28,000, right? By using the same exact process. And the reason that we're sharing this stuff is because it really works and it's really driven the sales, Scott, like you were showing just a little bit earlier. So why build lists? And you touched on this a few minutes ago, but I want to kind of recap this for everybody. Really, it's about three things. It's about creating an asset that you own and you control. Not only does that make your business more stable, but actually it makes your business worth more because we're not dependent on a single platform. We're not dependent on a single product, and we can drive our own traffic if something goes wrong, right? If Amazon disappears tomorrow, and that's where we're getting most of our sales from, we can still direct that traffic, which gives us more control over our sales. But number three here, Scott, and I think this is probably the most important for everybody to start to wrap their head around, it's really about building trust and long-term relationships with your customers. You're able to create a one-on-one experience with these customers through email or Facebook Messenger, whatever kind of list you're going to use. And that relationship and that trust is really what starts to multiply the effect of this, right? And we've seen this time and time again in the new brand. When we send an email, they go share the content with all of their friends on Facebook, and then their friends buy too. So not only is it the 28,000 people that we have direct contact with, but when we're able to build trust and long-term relationships, you get that multiplier effect as well. So it's kind of like having your own iPhone line, right? And you guys have probably all seen this picture, but every time Apple launches a new device, and Scott, I know you have a picture of you somewhere or a poster from one of the first iPod launches, right?
Yes.
You were one of these people, right? You were in this line. And when you
was.
have your own customer list, whether it's an email list, Facebook Messenger, wherever you're doing this, right? We like to do it through email. Every time you launch a product, you have a list exactly like this, right? You have people lined up on launch day, ready to go, right? Now, Scott, I think everybody should just take a second here and do us a favor, close their eyes and imagine what having a line of people ready to buy your product would do for you. Would that make your launch a little bit easier? Would that make spiking sales a little bit easier? We just did this same experiment over the last week, and we were able to drive an additional 10 sales a day, basically, from our email list over the last 3 or 4 days. And we've probably done more than that when we actually go back and look at the numbers. But if we want to rank a product, it makes it easier for us. Do you think that having a line of raving fans ready to buy any product you put in front of them would make launching new products a little bit easier? I think it would. Now, I know a lot of people, Scott, are asking these three questions. And this is kind of the pushback that you and I always get when we start to talk about this stuff to people. Like, where do I even start? Right? I don't know where to start, and that's fine. Well, okay, but I do know where to start, but I don't know how to find the people who actually care. And then, okay, well, I know where to start. I know where to find the people, but how do I actually get them to line up like they do for Apple? So these are the three big things, guys, that I want to cover here today with you. And by the time that you leave, you're going to have answers to all of these questions, and you're actually not even going to ever think about them again. So Let's start with where do I start? Why would people even want to be on my list to start with? Well, what most people think you need to do to start building a customer list is build out a full website, right? Hire a traffic guy or gal, somebody like me who runs a lot of paid ads, right? Build a fancy ebook and this giant video series. And quite honestly, with the other stuff that you're doing in your business, most people think that you also need more hours in the day. But the cool thing is, what you actually need to do to get started is find something cool and put it in front of people, right? All we have to do is find something cool and show it to people. Now, how do we actually do this is the question, because it sounds really simple, but quite honestly, it actually is. And the way that we do this is we do this through a product giveaway to generate interest. So we use product giveaways to get this interest. And there's one of two ways that we tend to handle this. We either do a single product giveaway, meaning we're giving away one big thing, or we give away a bundle. And there's kind of two variations on that. And we'll go through all three of these here in just a minute. The first is the starter pack, and the second is the ultimate kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to find a product related to our market. So in this case, if we're selling ice cream scoops, right, that's our product that we sell online. We're going to go out and we're going to find a single product, right? Gasp, it's a single product giveaway. We're going to find one thing. This type of a giveaway works best if you can find a product that fits your market and it's over $150, like this ice cream or gelato maker. Obviously, we want this product to tie into the thing that we're selling. If we're selling ice cream scoops, a gelato maker might make sense, right? Or a make at home ice cream kit, something like that would work really well there. The second variation of this is the bundle giveaway, and this is what we've tended to do more recently because it lets us include a bunch of different products that are all related to the audience. And there's two variations on this, like I mentioned. The first is the starter pack. If you're selling a product that isn't targeted just at like the professional chef in your market, right? The professional fisherman, the professional car mechanic. The starter pack is probably the way that you want to go. And let's just go back to that chef for a minute, right? If we wanted to target people who were trying to cook at home, we could put together the home essentials starter kit and show this to people and get them to join our list. We're going to include things like pots and pans and knives and utensils, right? Everything that they need to get started cooking at home. On the other side of things, if you are targeting that professional or you want to sell higher end products, the ultimate kit or the ultimate bundle seems to be the way to go here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to find the higher end stuff, right? The stuff that the pro absolutely wants, right? They're going to know the best fishing rod. They're going to know the best reel. They're going to know the best waders. They're going to know the best boots. So let's put that together. And that lets us build a list of higher end potential customers, the people who really are interested in the nitty gritty of what they're doing and not just getting started inside of that space. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, okay, that's cool. I get it. I need to find something that my market would be interested in and put it in front of people, right? That's what we just said. But where do I even get started with that? And the thing that's really cool is we all have the internet at our fingertips, right? We're watching this on the internet and we can use the internet to find ideas, even if we don't have any. And what we can do is we can actually find ideas that have already worked. And that's really cool. And we can go a bunch of different places like Pinterest or Facebook groups, blogs, and our good friend Google is definitely one of the places that I would take a look at. And the way that we do that and the way that we've done this in the past is you simply go to google.com and you type in what's called a Boolean search. Now, don't get scared by that term. It's just a fancy word. Really what we're doing is we're putting the keyword inside of parentheses. And then we're adding in a plus sign and we're typing in giveaway. So in this case, we're going to do something about a vacuum cleaner, right? Let's say we are selling vacuum filters. Okay, so we're going to search for vacuum cleaner in parentheses plus giveaway. And what that tells Google is, hey, Google, only include, I just set off everybody's Google Home. Google, only include things that have all of these words in this order, right? And what that does is that gives us exclusively a list of people who have posted giveaways of vacuum cleaners. And we can go into all of these different ones and see what they've given away that has worked in the past. And then we can just knock off that idea, right? Make it our own, obviously, but we can see in this case, right, this Shark Rocket Complete with Duo Clean technology, which was given away on the Thrifty Nifty Mommy blog, was able to get 31,730 entries, right? That's just a few emails, right? So think about that. That's 31,000 people that signed up to be on their list. Do you think that if Thrifty Nifty Mommy was to go launch these vacuum cleaner filters, that she would be able to sell a few to that list? She absolutely would. Okay. So what about the technology? That's the other thing, Scott, that we get told about all the time. And this is something we're going to address a little bit more on the back end, but I did want to cover this really quick because everybody thinks they have to build this giant website. They have to do all of these kinds of things, but they really don't. All you really need to be able to do is get a headline. You have to be able to write a headline and get 5 images of the product or products. That's all you really have to do. And we're going to show you exactly how we do this here in just a few minutes. But the other thing that you're going to want to make sure if you're doing a giveaway is that you have it so that it's shareable. And we'll give you guys the opportunity to understand exactly how we do this in the back end, but it's not a huge deal. It's not very difficult to do. The thing that's really cool with this is you then are able to multiply, right? So everybody that enters then shares it on Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever, and their friends then enter because they're also in the same market. That's what makes this really, really cool, because we're able to multiply our marketing dollars that we put into this and get a much bigger list in return. So do you guys all think that you can find something cool and put it in front of people? And do you think that to do that from a technology standpoint, you can write a headline and get 5 images? I think you guys all can, right? It's a fairly straightforward process. So the second question that everybody always asks us, Scott, is how do we find people who care? Like, where are they? Where are they hanging out? Okay, I understand that I want to get them onto my list. I have a really cool product. Now, how do I actually find those people to get them onto that list? And what most people think you need to do is learn all about pixels and CTR and CPC and CPL and spend a ton of money making mistakes and working on everything over and over again. And that we have to advertise this absolutely everywhere. We need to be on Google, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of these places. We need to do this in order to be successful. And the thing that's really cool about this method is you don't have to be. What you actually need to do is you need to pick one place. You need to pick one method of advertising, and you need to be consistent with it. We're going to show you guys a couple examples of how that's worked for us here in the past. Now, there's 3 easy ways that I want to cover with you guys really fast on how you can do this. 3 methods that I would say to pick from to get started and to show this giveaway, show this offer to people. The first one, and the one that everybody probably thinks of right away, is Facebook ads. And typically what I would suggest people start with is interest-based ads. So all we're going to do in order to do this is go to Facebook. We're going to search for our niche, or niche if you're from Canada. We're going to look for fishing, right? And we're going to see what pages come up. We're going to make a list of those pages, and then we're going to go into Facebook ads, and we're just going to simply target those pages. It's very easy to do. Facebook makes it super easy to target people in any given interest. You can also just go into Facebook ads and type in fishing, and they'll gather a bunch of those people together for you, and we can run a Facebook ad that way. The second way would be to take a look at Instagram ads. Now, this is something that is really, really cool, and you can run Instagram ads through the Facebook ads platform if you want, or you can do what we've done in the past, and you can actually target people individually. This process is pretty straightforward, although it can be a little time consuming because you have to do a little bit of digging. You have to do a little bit of searching, but all you have to do is go to Instagram.com. Now, I would do this on the computer, not on your phone, just because it's a little bit easier to navigate around, and you're going to search for your niche. So if we're selling something in the cooking space, we're simply going to go to Instagram.com and we're going to type in cooking. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring up a list of the Instagram profiles as well as hashtags, everything related to that. And all we have to do is click into a few of these and see how many followers they have, see if we have an opportunity to get in front of them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click into each of these profiles. And in this case, we went to cooking.room, and we'll see that they have in their bio that they accept advertising, right? So they post nothing but food. Send your videos to direct message. If you have a question about advertising and you want to potentially be on this page, they want you to send them a direct message. So all we have to do in order to get a photo placed on this page with our giveaway in it is send them a direct message. Now, that process is also fairly straightforward. All you have to do is click that little blue arrow. It's pointed down. It's highlighted yellow, I believe, in this picture, and it will open up a menu for you. And that will show you other people as well that you can target. Now, to send a direct message and to get onto any of these Instagram pages, all we have to do is write a couple sentences, right? This trips up a lot of people, but it's really not that difficult. In this case, if we were going to try to advertise on Cooking Room, all we would write is, "Hey, Cooking Room, I'm interested in advertising a cool contest that I found for your audience, and I think they'd love it. Would you mind letting me know what the rates are?" Right? All they're going to do is they're going to either reply yes, no, or $50 or $100, whatever it is. And then we can take a look at how many people have engaged with their posts in the past, how many people are liking and commenting, and how many followers they have. And we can decide then if that's worth $50 or $100 to us. And then we'll work with them to get it posted. And we'll show you exactly how some of this has worked in the past. Now, you guys are saying to yourself right now, okay, guys, I understand that you can do this with ads, but I don't have a huge marketing budget. Can I do this with a small budget? The thing that's really interesting is even with Facebook ads, you could put in $5 or $10 a day and you can get a huge return on that investment. But if you wanted to do it on a lower budget, you absolutely can do it for free, but it takes a lot more time. So I wanted to show you guys one of the ways that we've done this in the past, and that tends to work for people if you have the time but not the money, right? Where do you find people that will post this giveaway for you? Well, we've already kind of talked about them, right? You've heard this term influencers, right? These are bloggers, YouTube accounts, Instagram accounts like we were just talking about, Facebook groups, and even forums will be able to post this for you as long as it makes sense for their audience. Now, how do we do this? How do we find a list of these people that we want to outreach to see if they'll post it for free or in exchange for a small fee, right? We basically do the same exact thing that we did to find our ideas. We're just going to go to Google and we're going to run a very similar search for our niche, so fishing, plus the word blog. Or you can run plus the word giveaway, and we're going to look for something different. I'll show you that here in just a second. The other way that we could do it is we could go to a service that already has a list of these people, like Famebit or Thomason, that allows us to kind of speed up that process. But if we're trying to do this on a small budget, we can always just go to Google. The second step in this outreach is pretty simple, right? All you have to do is send an email, and that email is going to be almost identical to the text message or the direct message that we sent to the Instagram influencer. Hey, I found this thing. It's really cool, or I have this thing. It's really cool. I think your audience is going to be interested in. Would you mind sharing it? And they're just going to say yes, no, or $50, just like on Instagram, right? The thing to keep in mind here is that larger outlets are generally going to charge for this, but smaller outlets, people who are just getting started, who might not have, 10 million followers or 100,000 daily readers on their blog, a lot of times will post this stuff for free as long as it makes sense with their audience because they're constantly looking for content. And if you're able to give them value, they will post it in exchange for that value from you. Now, like I said, I wanted to show you a quick example of this. If we were in the cooking niche, just like in that Instagram example, all we would have to do is go to Google and type in cooking plus the word blog, right? The same way that we did when we were trying to look for ideas for our giveaway to begin with. And what that will do is that will go to Google and it will say, Google, only show me people who have a cooking blog, right? And what this will be able to do is it'll bring up a whole list of people. And then all we have to do is click on these individual lists or these individual results, rather, and look for the contact information. Now, some of these people are pretty big, right? Pioneer Woman has at least one show on the Food Network and has a whole bunch of stuff in retail. So she probably won't post our giveaway, but there's a whole bunch of other people on this list, including Lazy Mom's cooking blog down here, right? So if we were going to try to reach out to Lazy Mom, all we had to do was click on her results in Google and then go either to the About Us page or the Contact Us page and look for her contact information. Then all we have to do is grab her email address because they're all on all of these pages and simply send her a note, just like we were going to do on the Instagram side. Once you have these people on your list, right? You've run the ads, you've created the offer, you've done all of that stuff. You have them on your list. But now, how do you actually get them to raise their hand? How do you get them to line up and be there on launch day, just like Apple does every time that they launch an iPhone, right? How do we do that? Well, what most people think you need to do in order to do that is send these crazy emails like Amazon and Best Buy, right? You have to put all these pictures in, you have to make it really pretty, you have to write a bunch of HTML. But the thing that's really interesting about this is you actually don't. Just like the other two questions that people get wrong all the time, this one is actually way easier than people think it is. Because again, just like with coming up with the idea for the giveaway, really what we're doing is we're trying to find something cool and share it, right? We're trying to find pieces of content that would be interesting to our audience. What we're really trying to do is provide some value to that audience. We're trying to help them get better at fishing. We're trying to help them become better cooks. We're trying to help them do whatever it is that they're trying to do better. And what that lets us do is when we're ready, when we have our new iPod, right, or our new iPhone, we can actually ask for something in return, and people are willing to give us money for the product because we've already improved their lives. We've made cooking easier for them, fishing easier for them, whatever it is, right? The other interesting thing that I wanted to point out is those fancy kind of emails that Best Buy and Amazon send actually don't work as well as the really easy ones that we're going to show you how to create. Fewer people actually open them, fewer people click on them, and fewer people buy from them because there's no trust and there's no credibility in those types of emails. We all know that Best Buy is trying to sell us something. But if 99 times out of 100 Best Buy was trying to help us be better, we're going to open that 100th email that has a sale and we're probably going to click through. Now, do you guys want to see the secret email that we use with our audience? I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek because it's really not a secret and it's really not that difficult, right? This is the extent of all you have to write to keep this list warm and to get those people to raise their hand when you have a launch day, right? So again, like I said a minute ago, all we're doing is finding something cool and showing it to people. And the copy of this email goes a little bit like this. I have to say, one of the biggest pains in my butt as a garlic lover is cleaning my garlic press. I know it sounds crazy if you don't have a garlic press, but getting all that delicious garlic off the press was always such a hassle until I found this really cool YouTube video. If you have a two-piece garlic press, you need to take a look at it. It's going to make your life so much easier. I know it did for me. All we're doing in this email is we went to YouTube, we tried to find a piece of content around garlic, and this video actually exists, right? And we're sending it to our list. If you have already created some content, you can send that out. But if you haven't and you want to share other people's content, you can absolutely do that with your audience as well. And your audience is going to love you for it because you're helping make their life easier, right? If this was a pain for other people with garlic presses and you found a way that they haven't tried before and you share it with them the same way that a friend would, right? This is a 3-sentence email. This is exactly what you would send to a friend. Then that starts to create that trust and that relationship, and it builds that long-term value inside of your brand. Now, really, like I said, what we're trying to do with any of these emails that we send is build that connection. We're trying to show off a little bit of personality and create connection. We're trying to keep you in touch, right? And that's what most of this is. When we have a sales email, it's going to be a little more complex. And you'll see an example of that here in a minute, but it's still not that difficult to write. But by doing those things, by sending those touch point emails, those simple communications, that 3-sentence email that I just showed you, it makes your sales emails much more effective. And I mentioned this a minute ago. The reason it does that is because it's created the ability for everybody to think that every email you have is going to have value in it, right? So they're going to open it and they're going to click on stuff just because they have that in their mind already, because we've made their lives easier. We've created that value and that connection and that personal relationship with them. So they're going to read everything that we send them moving forward. Now, like I said, the top secret process to write that super secret email, right? Again, all you have to do is go to Google and search for your niche and then look for things that people are watching on YouTube, people are sharing on social media, and then you simply share that with your audience. You'll hear Scott and I refer to this as the reporter method, right? We're simply sharing the other things that are already popular with our audience or maybe interesting to our audience if they haven't seen it yet. Now, one piece that a lot of people miss out on is they build this list, right? They've gone through this whole process and then they only send an email when they're ready to sell something. And what I would suggest that you do is if you're emailing people, you want to email them at least once per week. Now, as you get more advanced, you're going to do this more often. But if you're running the contest like we suggest doing, typically that means you're going to need 3 to 5 emails for your contest, right? Not that difficult to do. I think all of you guys can go out and find 3 to 5 pieces of content, right? The other sticking point, Scott, that a lot of people have with this is the technology side, right? Okay, I get it. I understand how to do the giveaway. I understand how to drive traffic, but do I just send them emails from my Gmail account? And no, you have to actually use a piece of software called an autoresponder. And basically, it lets me send one email to 30,000 people at the click of a button, right? The one that we use, there's a whole bunch out there. The one that we use is ConvertKit, and it makes it super simple and super easy. And if you guys have any questions about that later on, feel free to ask. Now, the last thing that I know you guys are thinking about right now is, okay, that's great, Chris. We've built this relationship with them. We've gotten that list built, but what about launch day? How do I actually get them to sign up and be ready to buy, show up in front of the Apple Store with their wallets in hand? Well, it's actually a fairly simple process, like the entire rest of this is, right? All we're going to do is very similar to the other emails that we're sending. We're going to start with some personality, right? We're going to share that. We're going to create that personal relationship with them again. And we're going to tell them a little bit of a story, right, about the product. How is the product actually going to help them? Is it going to help them avoid pain or get pleasure, right? Those two things work really well in combination. The third thing, and something that Scott and I see people miss all the time, is that you need to add a time limit to this. We need to make sure that people understand that they can't just get this deal forever, right? And the way that we do that looks like this email right here. Hey, first name, if there's one thing I hate, it's garlic that goes to waste. And while for some of us, that's not possible because we eat it straight off the bulb, don't worry, I won't tell anybody your secret. For the rest of us, the press on team has come up with something pretty cool. So in that intro, all we're doing is giving a little bit of personality. We're making a joke about how much garlic we eat. And then we're saying, hey, we have something you might be interested in, right? The press on garlic saver, and yes, before you ask, it is shaped like a garlic bulb. After hours in the lab, and by lab we mean our kitchens, the press-on team has come up with a way to keep your garlic fresh for 45 extra days. That's right. Your garlic can be store-bought fresh for almost 60 days. Made from ceramic to lock in the freshness and keep out chemicals that can leach into food from lower quality plastic garlic savers. The press-on saver is dishwasher safe, and if we may say so, is the perfect artistic addition to any kitchen. So again, in that first paragraph, all we did was share some personality. In the second paragraph, we introduced the product and we told them a little bit of a story about it, right? We told them how it's going to help them avoid the pain of garlic going bad, how we're going to help them avoid the pain of having chemicals leach into our garlic, and how we can enjoy and get some pleasure from keeping our garlic fresh for almost 60 days. Now, the one thing that I want you guys to make sure you don't miss is in the PS here, we're saying you can get it for the next 3 days, right? This is key because a lot of people miss this. And one thing that happens when you don't do this, you don't get nearly the same bump. So it doesn't have to be 3 days. 3 days is typically what we use, but make sure that you time limit the offer. Okay. And all we're doing is we're saying if you get it in the next 3 days, you can get it at 50% off, meaning it's $3.99. Okay. It's very simple to do. Just make sure that you include that in the ends of your emails. Now, Scott, I have a question for everybody here, and I think they're all going to say yes to this. Do we all think that we can find something cool and show it to people, whether it's for the first part, that giveaway, or whether it's for the last part, these emails, right? This is a very straightforward process. If you can use Google, you can do this.
Yeah, this is awesome. Before you keep going here, Chris, you're doing awesome, by the way, and a lot of great feedback on YouTube and in the chat. So I just want to say, doing awesome, and people are really getting a lot of value and they're excited. A couple of questions, and I just want to answer them really quickly. It's easier for me to answer them here than it is to type. You guys, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm not Chris. I'm not good at typing. But yes, we are going to be going through kind of like how one of these things would look as far as like putting all the pieces together. And they also are asking Chris, like, how do we collect the emails? We will be going through that as well as far as like the different components. Right now, we're talking about like the things that you need, but then we're going to talk about the building blocks that make it all kind of fit together. Someone else asked if I was going to host a one of these giveaways or something on my own site. Do I have to create a new site in order to do this if I already have a website? The answer is no. You could host it on the same platform. And again, we'll be talking more about the tech stuff a little bit later, but just we just want you to understand the building blocks of it right now and kind of the frame of how everything is kind of tied together. So just wanted to throw that out there. So awesome. Keep plugging away, Chris. It's going really well.
Yeah, so I guess the last thing that I want to leave everybody with, Scott, is I want to recap these 3 big questions that we asked at the beginning, right? Where do I even start? How do I find the people? And how do I get them to actually line up and be ready when I'm going to launch a product? And the way that we like to do this is we like to run a giveaway. That's how we get started. How do we find people who care? We choose a traffic source. My favorite, the most consistent one for me has been Facebook ads by far. Instagram is great, but it seems to be a little more hit or miss, but you can choose whatever traffic source you want. And then how do we actually get them to line up? We send them cool stuff. And then when we need to ask them for something, we go ahead and do that.
Yeah, before we jump into the next section here, and this is going to be list building in action right here. I'm going to show you and take you through like that case study of kind of what we did. But I just want to also say we just did it again in a new market, kind of as a test. We may do something with it in the future, but we did it as a test. It was something that was interesting to us, the market that is. And, some people were asking Chris, like, okay, like for Instagram, like, they're not getting like good responses from people reaching out to people on Instagram. And here's the deal. Not all markets are going to be treated the same or that are going to be received the same. So you have to go to where the market is. In one market, we found Instagram really worked well. We found another market not so well. And then this most recent one, we were using Facebook ads, worked really well. But then we also just found an Instagram page that we are that close, like really close to pulling the trigger on, where we're able to reach 580,000 followers, their followers. And we worked a deal out where we were going to spend $100 a post. We had to do 5 posts though. So it's going to be $500. But the thing that I always want people to understand when you're dealing with Instagram, this is a little side tip, is the way to know if it's a good audience that you want to, and really if you want to pay for that, is that audience responsive? Meaning they could have 580,000, but they're not getting likes, or if they're not getting comments, then it's kind of like a dead page or it's a fake page. So what I like to do is look at the likes that it's receiving in a short period of time within the first 24 hours. The page that I'm talking about right now is getting between 5 and 8, maybe even sometimes 10,000 likes within 24 hours. So that's a page that I would want to get my post featured on, right? So that's the things that we look at. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because we had a couple questions on the Instagram thing. Are we cool? We ready to rock and roll? This is my cue, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get off camera again here. I just wanted to pop on and say, guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Chris will be in there now, and he'll be answering anything that you have in there, or we will be addressing it in the live Q&A at the end. We are going to do a round of live Q&A. So if you have any questions, we can answer them a little bit more in depth at the end as well. All right, cool. So let me get back over here to the slides. Here we go. And this is the case study that I want to share with you guys. All right. We did this. This was one of our first ones that we did testing out this strategy. And it was in a market. I'm going to share with you that market right now. We aren't going into that market. We did it really strictly as a case study and really to be able to share it and expose it. But we were able to collect 7,160 emails in just 30 days, following exactly what Chris just went through. Now, I will be sharing with you, again, everything, even the pages or the images. I'll be sharing all of that stuff with you. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So the idea was in this case study was to build an email list. All right, we wanted to build that email list and we wanted to offer products to them. All right, so in order to offer products to those people, well, we have to get them on an email list first. But that's the idea. That was the premise, okay? Just to kind of set the stage. All right. Now, why? Well, attracting raving fans in your market, like Chris has already said, is really what we're trying to do here. We want to eventually launch our own products. We also want to use something we call our feedback loop. This is where we get ideas for future products. We can also then allow them to help us, figure out the next product, but also the next piece of content maybe that we are going to post, and really allow us to keep connecting with the market and stay in tune with the market. So here's the basic funnel. Now, if you guys are brand new to the digital marketing side of things, a funnel is just a fancy word for basically saying guiding people through a process or a series of events. Okay. So these are just different components that make up this basic funnel. So we have traffic, we have a special discount page, we have a thank you and a share page, and then we have an email capture that is built in. And then from there, we have a follow-up sequence go in place. Now, again, this may seem a little bit overwhelming. It's really not. I'm going to show you how everything kind of ties together, connects together. But really, once you build this, then you just have to keep feeding the funnel, in a sense, with traffic, eyeballs. All right. And that's really what we're going to be doing here. All right. So the channel that we used was Instagram and Facebook. Okay. And again, our goal was to build an email list. Okay. That was our goal. Our goal initially was 1,000 emails. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit more of a backstory, we did this before one of our live events. We were doing a live in-person event with 25 people. We were going to teach this live. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to share a live example. So we said, let's do this before the event. Let's build an email list of 1,000 people and show people how we did it. Well, we surprised ourselves because we built a list of over 7,000 emails. All right. But this is what we did, okay? So we basically created a contest and we also needed a lead magnet. What that basically means is something to get people to raise their hand, all right? So in this case, the contest is the thing, right, that we're getting people to be able to enter to let us know that they're raising their hand, but we need something that's going to attract them, that's going to get them to raise their hand. So we know that they're probably in our market. Now, are there a few people that are just going to try to win this and then sell it? Sure. But most people that this is being targeted to are these people. That's the magic, really. Presenting the lead magnet, the thing that's going to get the attention, okay, is the thing that will have them raising their hands. So in this case, we were going after the sneakerhead market. Some of you know I have a young son, 20-year-old son, and he's into sneakers. So I was aware of this and I'm like, okay, this would be a cool market to test. I know there's raving fans out there of this market. There's huge launches for these things. Let's go ahead and raffle off a pair of these sneakers. And then we'll get all of these people that are in this market to raise their hand. So we used a pair of these Jordan Air 3s. Okay. They're $297 value. All right. So that's what we used. All right. So from here, we are able now, after that they enter that, we're able to get them to share it. All right. And I'm going to show you the different components. I'm just kind of breezing through here just to kind of show you the different pages. But this is another feature, which is really cool, is because now what we want them to do is be able to share it. This is where the power of doing a contest or a giveaway really starts to get exciting, because now these people can share and they're incentivized to share to get more entries. Okay. And that's what's really cool about that. Now, again, like I just want to highlight this part because it's really important is, and no matter what system you use or, different tool that you use, you definitely want the ability for them to get more entries for sharing. Okay. You want that. That's a huge part of this process. And you can see right here, we were able to get 7,160 emails. Okay. And actually there was 15,000 entries. Okay. Because they shared it. All right. Now, holy cow, right? There was another one that we did we got 15,000 contestants. Okay. That's basically emails and 37,000 entries. Okay. In this market. So well over 20,000 emails in this market, which by the way, we haven't really done anything with them. But just to, again, set the stage here, this was something that we did from scratch in a market we knew nothing about, but we just knew that they needed or that they wanted a pair of sneakers or that they would love to get a pair of sneakers because they're a sneakerhead, right? Okay. So a new case study, I just wanted to share this with you guys because this is really fresh. We just did this and actually this worked. And it should have been over 3,000 emails. It stopped working the last 3 days because our website had an issue. And it was kind of our fault because we didn't allow it to run the full 30 days. And our ads were still driving to that page, which wasn't able to collect the emails. But that's for another story. But we were still able to get 2,467 emails, and we were able to use it or just do it by using Facebook ads only in a brand new market again. So again, we've done it again and again. Step 3 in this process is then following up with these people. All right. So once they take the offer and they raise their hand by entering their name and email address, then we send them a follow-up. Hey, thanks for entering. Hey, subscriber first name. So it would say, hey, Scott, I just wanted to reach out and say, thanks for throwing your hat in the ring to win your own pair of, or your name in the hat, whatever it is, a pair of Kobe. This was our Kobe prize that we did. Right. If you want to increase your chances, don't forget that you can share the link with some of your friends. Click here to get your referral link. You get 3 more entries for each friend you get to enter. Good luck, Scotty. Well, Scotty was my son's name. Okay. So, or is my son's name. So that's what we used. Okay. Basic email. All it is reminding them that they followed and also allowing them to share and reminding them to share, driving them back to the thank you page. All right. So inside of ConvertKit, this is what we were using at the time, still are using. And this is how we are able to now communicate with these people. Very easy to set up. And we're able to then say, hey, thanks for sharing or thanks for entering. Here's more details. All right. So super, super easy to set up in a tool like ConvertKit. So step 4 in this process is drive traffic, right? So now what we did is we drove the traffic. We created the contest graphic. Okay. We outreached, we got sponsored posts, like I said, on Instagram. Optional way is Facebook. In this case study, all we used was Instagram. We didn't even use Facebook ads. I think we did it with our second contest a little bit to kind of test the waters, but Instagram was better in the sneaker market for 100%. All right. So it's optional if you want to use Facebook ads. We generally start with Facebook ads now, and then we'll do Instagram stuff later. In this new case study that we're doing right now that we got over 2,700, we've only done Facebook ads. Now we have Instagram lined up. We're going to do that for a second contest just because we're interested in seeing what happens. We want to test that out. All right. So here is what our little image looked like. Okay. And a couple of different things here that I want to point out. We scream the value. Okay. Now this was an Instagram post, exclusive giveaway, win free Kobe 11s. Click link in bio to win $160 value. Follow us at Perfect the Game. And oh, by the way, at Perfect the Game page is no longer there. So if you go looking for it, it won't be there. It was not there anymore. But that page, actually, and I'll show you that here in another shot. We were able to build that page over, I think it was like 4,000 or 5,000 followers just by running these contests as well. So you can see I just did a bunch of different variations, really easy to do. This is something you can even have someone on Fiverr do, super easy to do. So the traffic source, okay, outreach. You could outreach and find people, and that's kind of what we did by doing finding the influencers that are already controlling a page, is being able to do that. So what we did was we reached out to this guy, Kicks Tag. That's what it was called. 159,000 followers. Now this one did okay. Didn't do that bad. Didn't have a ton of followers, but I think it was only like $25 to do that one. All right. And you can see there, it says, let's see, advertising inquiries. And then it gives the email address. So you'll find that sometimes, not always, but we look for that. All right. So On that one there, we were able to get 315 likes, and we probably got about, I don't know, 75 to 100 emails from that. So not terrible, not awesome either. Okay, but you can see the copy that was written in there. Our friends at Perfect the Game are giving away the new code, and it kind of goes through and reiterates it. Click the link in their bio, right? So they have to go to our page and click our link in our bio. All right, so more hoops to jump through, but they still did it, and we built a pretty good size list. This one here, Shout My Sneaks, 163,000 followers. Okay, again, contact for advertisement. That's what we did. This one here again was about $25, not much, and you can see there's our little giveaway image down there. Not too bad. That one there got 468 likes in 18 hours, by the way. All right, and we got probably over 150 email addresses from that one. Okay, so again, not bad, but not awesome. Then we found this one, KickFeed, 1 million followers. Okay, 1 million followers. Well, they were a little bit more expensive. They were $125, and we got a little bit better result here. 2,763 likes in 12 hours. Okay, and we got well over 500 emails from this one giveaway. $125, but we were still in their feed forever. Basically, they kept us in there. But here's a funny story. We basically, I think it was $100 if we didn't want it to last longer than 24 hours, they would pull down the image. But if we wanted it to stay up forever, it would be 125. So we said, okay, let's do 125. Well, the funny story is the next day I went back to check and the image was gone. I'm like, wait a minute, I paid an extra $25 for that. So I contacted them and they actually reposted it for me. And in 42 minutes, I had 1,518 likes, and we gained a bunch more email addresses from that. So it was pretty awesome. But anyway, that was just a little funny story there. But how do you find more people that are possibly ones that you can reach out to? You click that little tab there on Instagram, and then you look at the suggested area down below. And then you just start looking at those pages and see if those are related or relevant. And then you can start digging through those. It does take some time. It takes some work. Here was that page I was telling you about, Perfect the Game. So 3,147 followers. All right. And before we started, we had 1,847. Okay. So 1,300 new added from doing this little giveaway. All right, not too bad. All right, and then this was here after our second giveaway. We added 3,193, over 5,000 followers. Okay, on that one there. So just to show you. So now what? Now what would we do? What would you do? Well, you continue to run contests. We keep doing that in our new brand. But then from there, you choose a winner. You email them. You then email the non-winners. You offer a discount and say, hey, sorry you didn't win, but we want to treat everyone as a winner. We want to give you a discount. And then we drive sales on Amazon or our own website. We use that listing page to discover new products, new ideas, new content, all of that stuff that I said before. It's an asset that we've built. We rinse and repeat. Again, you can do these monthly, you can do weekly. Again, you want to continue to build that email list. You want product offers in there. You want to be able to survey the audience. You want a mix of everything inside of these emails, not just sales related emails. Okay. So the email follow-up, a lot of people, they struggle with this. They're like, well, Scott, what do I do? Like, what do I send them? Well, send them useful stuff. You can just be the reporter in your market, right? You just be the reporter. You don't have to be the expert. You're just the one out there that's kind of doing all the legwork for them. You could be that person. Hey, this week I found these 3 cool tricks that I found on YouTube. Here they are. And oh, by the way, here's a link to our store, right? We're having a special this weekend. Right? People are okay with that if you're delivering value. Okay. Promote your own products when you can. And I think you should probably every 3 emails, right? Don't just send out, content after content after content. You kind of train them that you're going to have a few offers in there as well. Surveys, another great way, again, to just get them to tell you what they want. Affiliate products, if you want to be an affiliate for products and then test a product before you would even launch one, you can use that as an opportunity. And you can tell them to share your content through those emails. Okay. There's a lot of great things that you can do with that. Gary Vaynerchuk wrote this book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. Great book. And it basically talks about the jabs are the content. The right hook is the ask for the sale or the thing, right? So it's, content, ask. Okay. So it's like give, ask. That's the approach there. So what happens when you email? Well, we sent one email to a segment of our list. So we segmented the list inside of our email program, ConvertKit, and we segmented it to 594 people that actually raised their hand a little bit further and said that they were interested in this one thing in our market. So we sent out an email and said, hey, do you have A or B? They said A. We said, okay, cool. We sent it out to 594 people that said they had A, and we sold 27 units on day one, because we offered them a 50% off discount that was related to A. Okay. We were able to boost our BSR on Amazon to $39.50. We hit bottom of page one for our keywords in a very short period of time because we had this asset. Okay. Our results, again, from this 594 people, we had 27 units sold. You can see it right there. $477. Not too bad. 4.2% conversion. Not terrible. Okay. Not terrible at all for email. Second email, because we send out another one, 37 sales, $645. Okay. Not too bad just from sending an email. Okay. So what happens when you start to gain some momentum? Well, you get to have results like this. You get to be able to have 358 units. Okay. Sold. 3.4% is the conversion rate on that. But again, if you can match your products with the market, because we know that they're in our market, they raised their hand in the beginning, right? So if we can match that, we have a much greater chance of selling something. So this one here, I needed to share because Chris always laughs when I share this. This was my mullet back in the day. I think I was around 16 years old here. I thought I was going to be in a heavy metal band, and I was going to tour the world. Well, I soon got married when I was 20 or 21, and I didn't pursue that dream anymore. But business in the front, party in the back. That was from Chris, by the way. But there's more benefits and not just sales. And that's what I mean here. All right. You have to understand that building an email list is about getting sales. Yes, but it's also about building trust in your market and also allowing those people to be able to share the stuff that you're posting and your content and your brand. There's so much more than just the sale. The sale is great and we want sales, but we also want them to help spread the word on our brand. All right. But you also, again, with sales, you get to boost your BSR. You get to rank. Again, that was our ranking, our BSR. Pretty awesome. Not even with any review yet, right? So it just goes to show you we're able to drive traffic to our social, our social content. If we have a YouTube channel, we can drive traffic there. If we have Twitter, if we have Facebook, if we have Instagram of our own, any of that stuff, we can drive our own traffic to those places from our email list. All right. So the big question is this: how do I start? Right? Like, how do I set up this stuff? How do I build this stuff? Right? Well, option number one is you can hire someone. And you know what? For a lot of businesses, it's worth it. Right? I mean, you can hire someone for probably $400, a programmer, and they can build you out your pages. You don't have to touch it. Okay. You can use a hosted service that will do giveaways. They have them out there right now. They're usually $40 a month or more, $100 per contest. Okay. But again, it might be worth it for you to do that if you can build the email list. Right? Think about it as an asset that you're building for your business. Option number two, well, we've built a tool that does this, and we built it for ourselves initially. And now we are offering it to the public. And I've actually got something cool that we just added, which does more than just giveaways. So let me share that with you. So Giveaway Boost is something that we created, like I said, for our own internal use. I reached out to my good friend, Chris Guthrie, who's got some software programming skills from his past. And I said, hey, I really want this thing. There's some tools out there that do this, but I want mine to do something a little bit different. I want it to be easier, and I don't want to have to pay a monthly fee. All right. So we're able to now run unlimited contests. We have full design control. Literally with clicks of the button, we can create pages, easy to set up and use. And we built it for e-commerce sellers like you and me. All right. So here's just some of what Giveaway Boost does. Okay. Run giveaways for anything, as many times as you want. You can set more than one winner too. So if you want to have 3 winners, you can do that. And with a click of a button, it'll pick those winners for you. So it's randomized. Okay. We can encourage entrants to share the giveaway page, which is huge. We can build the email list, like I said, because we can connect it to our email provider. We can customize a prize value. We can customize referral entries awarded. So if we say, hey, for everybody you share, we give 3, but maybe you want to give 5. All right. You can customize your giveaway page. You can customize your giveaway end date, Facebook share integration, all of that stuff is included. There's a whole bunch more as well. So creating your first giveaway, let's take a look and see what this looks like. one thing that I wanted in there was, and these are some important components, is we wanted a place to put our title. We wanted the end date. We wanted a countdown in there. Giveaway ends in. We wanted the details to be there. We wanted it to say how much the total prize value was. And we wanted to be able to keep it simple by having them be able to just enter their name and their email and enter to win. And that's it. Like, that's what we wanted. We wanted a place to put our images. We wanted a background image. Like, we wanted it clean. The one thing I want you to understand is when you're building these pages, do not have a typical web outline or the way that they are structured with a nav tab where you have navigation, where you can navigate around the page. You don't want any of that stuff. It's a distraction. Our only goal here is for them to see the offer. It's reiterated from where they came from, a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad, wherever. And then from there, they go here, they go, yes, this is what I want. Name, email, enter, boom, done. All right. That's what we want. All right. Now, inside of Giveaway Boost, it's a plugin for WordPress. All right. So WordPress is a free platform. You can use the platform. It's super easy to use. I've been using it now for probably 15 years. It's come a long way, but I've been using it for a long time. Once you install it, all you do is click some buttons. So it's right there. It says Giveaway Boost. And then you just say new giveaway. All right. And then from there, you start to go through the steps. Number of winners, 1. Prize value, $297. Referral entries, 3. The giveaway ends. You put the end date. You can then put, you can leave the default messaging or you can change it. Okay. So basically, you're just filling in the blanks. It's just asking you questions. You're filling in the blanks. All right. Step 3, select the image. You can do an image background or you don't have to. You can change the colors. We've also got some pre-built colors in there that are pretty cool. You can have carousel images where they basically rotate, or you can have them pause. All of those things, up to 5 images. You can autoplay it if you want. Step 4 is selecting the images that you want to put in there. Just upload them basically right on your WordPress blog or your site, your website. And then step 5 is you can preview it, make sure everything is right, and then hit publish, and you're live. Like, it's literally that simple. And then it will build the pages for you. So you'll have this page right here. Okay. It'll be basically built. And then you can customize it however you want it to look, colors, background, images, like I said, keeping it super simple. Okay. But here's the cool thing. We've just added a new thing, and that's why we're calling Giveaway Boost 2.0 now. Okay. Because now we have special offer pages. Now, what I mean by this is where we're able to build a landing page like this right here, an offer page with a countdown, okay, where it basically says this offer is good for this amount of time. This one here is 3 days, 19 hours, 49 minutes, 12 seconds left, and it's counting down. We have our images there, and now we can run discounts. So now we can drive people to our own webpage, which we know that we don't want to drive all of our traffic over to Amazon because that could hurt our conversions, and we can't capture the email. So what we do here is we drive traffic to this page. If they click claim your coupon, then we have this pop up. We have a little opt-in box that pops up. This is like a light box, they call that. The rest of the screen goes a little bit blurry or a little bit hazy. And then the pop-up comes in and it says, enter your first name and your email address to claim your coupon code. And then from there, boom, thanks, claim your discount below. Tackle 50, right? Maybe that's for fishing. And then they enter their code over on Amazon. They get their 50% off discount. All right. We've captured the email address now. All right. And these pages are all pre-built. All you need to do is fill in the blanks, create your codes, obviously. And we do have the option to do one-time use codes, or you can do group codes inside of there. The basic discount funnel looks like this: traffic to a special offer page, email capture. You want that in there as well. And then we direct them to a thank you plus coupon page that drives them to Amazon. The email capture, once they get on there, we can then send them a follow-up email that will also send them back to the thank you page to make sure that they got their coupon. All right. So this is brand new, guys. This is brand new. So how to create? Well, you can do it yourself. Like I said, web developer, $400 to $500, which is fine. It would be worth it. Custom layout and design, custom tracking code, contest updates. Like, you're going to have to probably continue to pay this developer to make these updates if you want to change anything, or you can get Giveaway Boost. Right now to the public, it's $97 a year. Okay. So for 12 months, unlimited contest, includes updates, multiple templates, 60 plus backgrounds that we're giving you as well. That's what it is available to the public. Now I'm going to do something really cool for you guys on the workshop here. We're going to also give you guys some bonus training. Okay. Now this here is walking you through how to set everything up. all the tech side of things. So imagine Chris being there with you at your computer, looking over your shoulder, telling you where to click and where to enter these certain components. He's basically done all that for you. So all you got to do is just go through that training. There's also some additional training in there to actually get your first contest set up, talk about offers, talk about your first email, your sequence, stuff like that. $400 value. We're going to include that inside of the Giveaway Boost training because we want you guys to be able to get this. All right. So unlimited giveaways, $97. That's a 12-month access to that license. Unlimited offer pages, $97 because now we have that built in. That was never there before. Now it is. 60 plus background images. It's a $520 value, and step-by-step training. It's a $400 value. So total value is $1,117 if you were to kind of wrap that all up. Well, we're going to do something, like I said, really, really awesome for you guys, okay? For just $97, unlimited contest, like I said, discount page, one site license, 60 plus background images, list building course, all that stuff, okay, is there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you guys a deal. $79 a year, 20 bucks off, okay? So just $79 gets you unlimited contest plus discount pages now that you get to do unlimited amounts, one site license, meaning you can install it on your one site, 60 plus background images, list building course, and 50% off your renewal. So if you want to renew it again in 12 months because you're using it, 50% off. Okay, all renewals. Okay, so right now you should see a link where you can go ahead and get access to this. Okay, or you can just go to theamazingseller.com/boost. All right, if you go to giveawayboost.com, it will be the public price, and you won't get it at this price. So go through theamazingseller.com/boost. I am partners with Chris Guthrie, so I am affiliated with Giveaway Boost. I'm part owner in it. And you know, it's something that we created, like I said, for our own business, but now we're offering it. And 2.0, I'm really excited about that because now we're able to build those contest pages, those discount pages, really, really easy with just a few clicks of the button. All right. So again, everything here is what you're going to receive when you get Giveaway Boost 2.0. All right. Again, $97 is your regular price, the public price, $79 for you guys for the full year, unlimited times you can use it. Okay. And it's going to give you all the updates and everything for free. All right. So Chris, I'm ready to jump into some Q&A. And do you have any questions that are in the queue, or is anything that we need to address before we jump into that?
Oh, we got whole bunches of Q's to A. You covered, Scott, for a few minutes ago, you know, like conversion rates from email. And somebody was asking, and it was somebody over on the YouTube side, and I apologize that I forget who it was. I think it was Tom. Was saying, you know, what do we expect in terms of a conversion rate from an email, right? Like if I send an email, and the answer, guys, is it depends. And I really need to make a GIF of that so we can just post it everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know, with that first email that we have, we only sent out 594, right? Mm-hmm. And we sold a whole bunch. You know, most recently, Scott, we sent out an email to our entire list, letting them know, you know, all 28,000 people on the list of the new brand, and we converted right around 1%. But the majority of people on that list have already been exposed to that product, right? The product that we were offering a discount.
Yeah, it wasn't a product launch.
Right. We're talking 1% of 28,000 people still bought, and a couple of them, looking at the numbers, and when the sales came in, bought it again, right? To give to a friend or give to a family because they already have it and they already like it. So you're going to convert better with a small number, obviously, but it doesn't really matter because I'd rather have 1% of 28,000 than 10% of 28, right? So I'll take that. Just keep in mind that that number is going to go down. And then one of the other reasons that first email performed so well for us in terms of, like, if you're looking at it from a, you know, sales per person ratio conversion rate type of thing, right, is because we already segmented that list and we said, okay, you already have this thing, so let's show you this thing that goes with it. And so they're already more interested versus the generic people on the list who aren't going to necessarily be as interested in that specific thing, right? So you are going to see a little bit of a difference there in terms of conversion rate, and it is going to vary a bit, but you are able to push this. And that's something I just wanted to throw out there because we sent one email to the list about our most recent contest, and we converted at 1%. And that's just with the numbers that we can track definitively. So I wanted to throw that out there. A whole bunch of people, Scott, are asking about Shopify.
Yeah.
And does this work with Shopify? So I wanted to get that out of the way really fast. And I know you're not a super tech guy, but the answer is kind of, right? It's not going to install directly on Shopify. So if your website is website.com, it would be installed on what's called a subdomain, and Giveaway Boost support should be able to help you out with this. But basically you just install WordPress on giveaways.website.com. and then you can do it. WordPress is absolutely free, so you can use it with any platform that you have for your website. Otherwise, you just have to set up that subdomain, and every host, every website provider will be able to help you out with that. Josh wants to know, does Giveaway Boost offer a payment plan? So no, it's just the $79 for the single site license. Adrian says, I'm interested, but what does one site mean? Does that mean I can only promote one product, Scott?
No, you can unlimited products. It's just for that one brand. So if you have one website, like if you have one brand, then you can install the plugin on that brand, and then you can use it unlimited amount of times. It's if you have two brands, then you would have to buy a multi-site license. And then that's just going to be a little bit more. I think it's up to 5 site licenses is the next one. And then we have also an unlimited one. If you have a bigger brand, or even if you work with clients, you can buy that unlimited one, and then you can use it as a tool to use for them. But really, we see that a lot of people buy the 1 or the 5 site license, to be honest. But yeah, this is a one-time per year fee. So again, we're always doing updates and tweaks. And like I said, 2.0 just pushed out. So everybody that is already currently using Giveaway Boost, they immediately got the update with 2.0, and those pages were there for them to basically start using and building. So that's pretty sweet. And we're doing that stuff all the time to try to make it better and just use, we're really building it for ourselves also in the process. So any features we want, we're adding, and then they just get passed along to Giveaway Boost owners.
Yeah, and Adrian said, does that mean one product at a time? No. So even if you have the single site license, you can have as many giveaways running simultaneously.
Absolutely.
It just means you could only install it on website.com and not on website.com, theinternet.com, and scottsawesome.blog.org all at the same time.
Right.
If you have multiple brands and multiple sites, that's when you would go to the 5 site license or the unlimited. Robert wants to know, can I get a discount if I already paid, the $97? Send an email to hello@giveawayboost.com and just let them know, and we can get that taken care of for you.
Absolutely.
Shabu says, and guys, if we butcher your name, it's not an attack against you. It's just that we can't read. Hey, Chris, when collecting leads from Instagram influencers, don't the emails have to be from the USA in order to be valuable, or whatever marketplace we're selling on? How do we target just the USA with influencers? So that's one of the downsides to the Instagram influencer strategy, is you don't have as much control over exactly where those people are coming from. There are some tools out there, I believe, to tell you kind of where their audience is based. But with something like Facebook ads, I can say only show it to people in Colorado. Right? You don't have that same capability with Instagram because you're targeting the profile, not the end user. Does that make sense, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome. Linda says, is ConvertKit required, or can we use MailChimp or some other service? And I've seen this question a couple times today. You can use whatever email autoresponder you want to send those follow-up messages, right? The simple content and the sales messages. We use ConvertKit, which is changing shortly to something else like Seva, but you should be able to search around and find it no matter what they're called if you search for ConvertKit. And the reason that we do is because I've sent emails on everything from MailChimp to enterprise level platforms like Marketo and Infusionsoft and all of these other things. And ConvertKit gives us all of the functionality that I get on those enterprise level things that Fortune 500 companies use, with it being even easier to use than MailChimp. Right. Things like being able to resend to unopens, right? So if we send out that email to let everybody know who won the contest, we're typically going to see somewhere between a 15 and a 30% open rate. That means 70% of people didn't open that email yet. Inside of ConvertKit, with the click of a button, I can then send that same email with a different subject line to everybody who did not open the first one, right? Which means I can go from a 30% open rate to a 60% open rate, potentially. In a click of a button. Most of the other platforms don't make it that easy. The other thing is, as you start to get nerdier and more advanced, you can do some really, really cool things inside of ConvertKit. And I'll give you guys an example. It's not necessarily anything you would need to do on the contest side of stuff, but we're doing some like free plus shipping stuff in the new brand, right, Scott?
Yes.
And you could do this if you have Shopify as well. When somebody adds the product to the cart, just like on Amazon, right? You add it to your Amazon cart, 70% of people end up abandoning those carts, right? So inside of ConvertKit, I can create, by clicking and dragging a few different things, I can create an entirely automated sequence that looks at everything that we're doing. And it took me 5 minutes to set up in ConvertKit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're saying, okay, well, they went to this page, but not this page, and this page, but not this page. And then it says, send them this email because they didn't buy that yet. We do that inside of ConvertKit, or you can simply send broadcasts. And so it makes it really easy. It's a very straightforward platform, and their support is amazing.
Hey, Chris, real quick though, I just want to just let people know too that, you don't necessarily to run this, you don't even need the autoresponder. We would like you to, and I think it's a great feature. But if all you want to do is build the list and then upload it to Facebook so you can create a targeted audience that way, you can totally do that too. And inside a giveaway boost, it's basically collecting the emails, and you can export those as a text doc. So basically, it'll just export, or CSV. You can basically export those contacts. So you have them. You don't necessarily have to use it. If you want to follow up and use the automation, then you will. I think you should. But I just want to let people know that's just another added thing that we bolt in there.
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely critical to know, because you don't have to use it. Now, to send emails, you're going to need one of these platforms. But if you aren't ready to do that yet, you can start it up and just download the CSV. And that's the other thing. So Giveaway Boost integrates with most of the common email platforms like MailChimp and ConvertKit and those kinds of guys. But if you live somewhere and the only thing that you can use doesn't integrate with it, you could always download the list and upload it into whatever platform you're using. And that's one of the reasons that we did that. Tyler wants to know, do we need a business WordPress account for the plugin? So no, if you go through the Giveaway Boost training, we'll show you how to set it up. WordPress is actually free. You don't need to pay for anything. You just need to buy the domain and the hosting. So the actual web address.
Yeah, you just need to buy the hosting, which generally is, you can even get it for $5 or $6 a month, and then from there you would have a domain, which is you could probably get one for $1.99, but at most you're probably going to pay $10-12, and that's a year fee. So really, it's like $5-6 a month. And then you have a website, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. And then from there, you can decide if you want to use it more. Like, someone asked, can I use this if I have a home-based website already? And what he means by that, or she, I'm not sure who asked the question, is basically, and I've talked about this, is we want a home base to drive people, right? We want people to be able to be coming to our platform that we own and control. And if you have a blog already or a website, then yes, you absolutely can bolt this on if you're using WordPress. And I think that you should, because then everything is kind of connected. But yes, you can.
Darren Moore says, can I run a contest and a discount at the same time? Yeah, you can. So you could run those coupon codes and a contest at the same time. We actually did that recently in our new brand, and that worked really well for us. Melinda says, does Aweber do this? Yeah, you can use any email autoresponder. We like ConvertKit. Scott and I have used, between the two of us and the rest of my team and Scott's team, have used literally probably everything that has ever been created for emails.
Pretty much.
I like ConvertKit the best by far.
Seva, ConvertKit. It's going to be Seva pretty soon. So, but anyway, it's ConvertKit right now, and I think they're converting over. But yes, ConvertKit, Seva.
And Melinda says, would this work on an HTML website, not WordPress? So HTML, I'm assuming, Melinda, you mean you have like a hard-coded homepage, right? Meaning somebody just sat down and wrote all of the HTML, and that there's not what's called a content management system, which is what WordPress is, right? Big fancy words for not that fancy software. And the same disclaimer would apply there, right? No matter what you have on your main website, you can always add a subdomain onto that and then install WordPress there for absolutely free. Let's see. There was another one that just ran away from me.
Yeah. Melinda asked it also, is this in place of ClickFunnels? And the answer is no. ClickFunnels we use for different purposes, free plus shipping offers and stuff like that. But the contest we're running through here because we have the share features. The other thing that I didn't include in the new features is there's a lot of additional share features that we can build our YouTube channel by adding more, more entries by them subscribing to our YouTube channel or viewing a video or following us on Instagram. Those were features that I personally wanted built in, and I just recently added those to the things that we wanted, and now they are embedded in there. Like, they are there. So those are additional ways for people to share and get more entries, is also to help you build your social media if you want to. That's another feature that's there. But no, it's not really in place of ClickFunnels because ClickFunnels doesn't really have the share features built in and stuff that we've done there. You could probably bootstrap some things together or, like duct tape some things together to make it work. but it wouldn't be as easy as just, setting this up, clicking, a few buttons, adding what you want and clicking go. It's built for this, actually it's built for two things now, for discount pages and then also for the giveaways and the contest.
Yeah, and that was something that I wanted to talk about, Scott, was the ClickFunnels side of this, because one of the reasons that we ended up developing this, when we are ClickFunnels users, we use it for the e-commerce stuff, right? Like we run some
Right.
3+ shipping funnels and some of that kind of stuff in the new brand. Is it literally would have cost us an extra $150 a month to do giveaways inside of ClickFunnels because they don't support it natively. You have to go buy another software and then hook it all together and hope that it works. So we were looking for an easy way to do this, and we talked to our friend Chris Guthrie, and we were able to come up with this, and this has worked really well for us. We absolutely love it. And I know a lot of people were chiming in even at the beginning of the workshop, Scott, saying that they were using it and loving it. We had a couple questions here about Scott, what is the audience accelerator thing?
The audience. Yeah, well, that is something else that we've recently added, and Chris has been working hard at it. A lot of people want to know, like, what do I send, like, the people? Like, what do I send them? So what we've done is we've built 5 different campaigns that actually you can copy and paste and basically plug them into your autoresponder, in this case, maybe ConvertKit or Aweber or whatever you're using, MailChimp. And then from there, it allows you to set up these sequences. So this way here, when you do a contest, when you do a discount, you can deploy these, right? You can just basically plug them in and let them go. And these are ones that we've built, that we've used. Now we've modified those so they're a little bit more, generic, so you guys can use them, but they're basically set and ready to go. So we've created 5 of them. They are there as an additional option for anyone that does purchase Giveaway Boost. But these are pre-built. So these are like for the people that are like, okay, I got the email list, but now I'm struggling with writer's block. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to send. I don't know how to format it. These are like plug and play, like pretty much. That's what we did there. So that's what it is. Audience Accelerator is that right there. And Chris actually created some videos walking through, the emails, but also like, how to set them up. So
yeah, and that's the thing inside of Giveaway Boost, right? You get the training on how to set up Giveaway Boost. You get an understanding of exactly how we run these giveaways, how we set up the Facebook ads. We do give you some templates there, but realistically, everything that we have ever sent to our list is broken down in the Audience Accelerator. Right. And so we wanted to include that for you guys, and we wanted to give you the option to take that if you wanted it, because one of the things that people constantly ask us is, well, what does this sequence look like exactly? And so that's there if you want it. If not, that's totally cool too. Dana says, if I wanted to do a tiered giveaway, is that possible? I.e., you say share 10 times and those 10 people entered their emails, you get entered into the elite drawing for a larger prize. No. So the way that would work is if they share and other people enter, they simply get more entries into the existing contest. You could set something up, I'm sure, but that's not generally something that's set up for it that way. The other thing you could do, Dana, is you could simply reach out to the people who are sharing the most and say, hey, I'm going to put all your names in a hat, right? Or email the list and even say that, and you could do that kind of independently.
I've done that before in the past, to be honest with you, not in e-commerce, but in my brick and mortar, where we were actually, we would have people at an event, basically do the same thing. They would enter their email address right there. And then we would also, again, do an elite one where we would enter them, in paper, right, in a hat, and then we would draw it live. So yeah, I mean, you could do that. That's totally a great strategy if you want to do that, to kind of like incentivize them to get in the elite drawing. Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Josh says, how much should I anticipate spending to launch a product using giveaways, influencers, sponsored ads, etc.? I knew this question was going to come up, and I'm glad you asked it, Josh. The answer again is it depends. But what we typically set for our ad budget, at least at the beginning, is about $25, right? And the reason that we do that is $25 a day, rather. The reason that we do that is so that we can test everything out, right? And as it starts to work for us, then maybe we scale it up or we scale it down. Typically, in the new brand, we've been spending between 15 and 20 cents per giveaway entrant, and that includes the cost of the prize. So obviously we're going to scale that up. Now, we did a giveaway recently in that brand, and we did some things and actually made it really hard for people to enter because we wanted to test if we could do it with Facebook Messenger and all of these kinds of things. And we were paying about 40 cents a lead. We were still able to get over 3,000 leads in that giveaway for the same type of a budget, right? If we would have driven them straight to the landing page instead of making them do a whole bunch of crazy stuff, we probably would have gotten about 6,000 in that. But if you can count on somewhere between 50 cents and $1 per email address, that's pretty good. Typically, though, once you start to get the wheels moving on this thing, it really takes off and that cost per lead starts to come down.
Yeah. Let's address this question here. I think John's in the chat. I've got to give a little shout out to John. John's been cranking in the chat. Thanks, John, for doing that. Adden, I think, is how you pronounce that. Just to be clear, he says, you started the webinar from the premise that giveaways are now banned to get reviews and that we need to start doing something different. But now with Giveaway Boost, I'm still giving away products and offering discounts. Isn't that going to cause reviews to be deleted by Amazon? Chris, you want to start with that one?
No. I meant no, it won't.
I know.
This is something completely different, right? We're not giving our products away for free. We're giving away somebody else's product to create an email list. This has nothing to do with Amazon in the beginning, right? We're simply finding something cool and we're showing it to people to build an email list. Where the Amazon side of this comes in, and somebody else said, I don't quite get how this hooks into the FBA side of things. So when we're ready to launch our Amazon product is when we send that sales email, whether it's just the sales email by itself or one of the templates that we have, like the giveaway follow-up email, where we share who the winner was, and then we say, hey, you get 20% off or 30% off. The very first one we sent to our list, we gave 50% off. Everything after that has been between 25 and 30. And so Amazon doesn't care if people are buying products. We're not doing that in exchange for a review. We're doing it so that they'll go buy the product, right? We're not doing it for reviews. We're doing it for sales, and that's okay. And we're not giving it away, right? We actually made a profit. And Scott, you showed the numbers at the beginning. We made a profit on every single one of those launches we showed at the beginning, because we're not giving massive discounts. We're not giving 99% off. The most we ever gave was 50%. We were like, well, heck, this worked really well at 50. Let's try it at 30 or 35. So every product we've done since then has been 30 or 35, and Amazon expects that, and that's totally cool. Now, if we were to email them and say, you only get this 35% off if you buy it, review it, and then show us a screenshot of that, yeah, that would be bad, right? That would not be okay. But we're simply putting the offer out for people, not saying anything about reviews. They're just going through and buying it. We don't know, right? We can't match one-to-one who took us up on that offer necessarily. So Amazon, it's not targeting. We're not targeting people with that. We're making that offer available to everybody. And that's totally cool in the eyes of Amazon.
Yeah,
totally
let me just
different concept there from the reviews for giveaways.
Yeah, let me just let me just kind of address that in my take on it, just to kind of be clear. And you're 100% right. And the thing is here is we're not going after reviews. So let's just get that out of the way. We're not going after reviews. Okay. Now, if we drive sales, okay, and we have our follow-up sequence in place for the Amazon side of things, if we have Sales Backer installed or Feedback Genius, whatever you're using, then that'll start to work itself. We're doing this to spike the sales. Okay. And again, if we have a bad product, it'll spike sales and then people will start buying it organically and it'll flop and then it'll drop. So we're not doing it for that reason. We're doing it to get sales, to really feed the algorithm in Amazon. So this way here we can start to rank. We've optimized our listing, which is that's all the stuff that we've talked about, we've taught in the past. Optimize the listing, drive sales, and start ranking. And then let the reviews and feedback start coming in naturally. If you give a discount on the product, from what I'm aware of, if you give more than 50%, there could be a chance that your review won't stick or that it won't even be able to be received. So that's why if you are running something for reviews, don't expect them. If they come, that's a bonus. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and that's the same way that I look at it, right? We have a whole bunch of other questions here, Scott, that I want to kind of power through so that we can get everybody on with the rest of their day. But we have some coming in about analytics and some of those kinds of things. So does Giveaway Boost give us analytics? Yes, in terms of entrance into the content, it's not going to give you full site analytics, right? If you have questions about that, feel free to send me an email at support.theamazingseller or hello@Giveaway Boost. We typically use Google Analytics to track kind of everything that people are doing. And I would suggest installing that, even if you don't plan on using it right now. It's simply copy and paste. And there should be a video inside of the Giveaway Boost training showing you exactly how to do that. Frank says, what's a good conversion rate for a landing page? Typically have 217 visits and only 15 emails. So typically we're seeing between 30 and 40% opt-in rates on those pages. So that is a little on the low side. And it may be one of two things, right? It's either going to be our targeting or it's going to be our offer and how the offer is presented. My guess is it's probably the targeting. However, 217 people is not enough to really make that decision yet. So I'd let it sit for a day or two and then go from there. Frank wants to know, what are some common patterns of coming in with low emails when running a contest? I think I'm focusing on the right market, and I have the value of $160. However, I only have gathered a few emails. So I guess my first question would be, how are you advertising? Right?
Mhm.
Instagram is great when it works, right? And that's why you and I, Scott, have talked about we love Instagram and we hate Instagram at the same time, because when
Yeah.
it works really, really well, and we get 5,000 emails in an afternoon. Facebook ads for me has been absolutely the most consistent. I know that if I put $25 in every day, that I'm going to get a set amount of emails. And it might vary by a penny or two per email throughout the contest. But I know, if we're getting, what did I say earlier, Scott, about 20 cents? So what's
Mhm.
$25 times 20 cents?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you make me do math?
I don't know. Well, I guess it would just be 5 to 25, right? So 125. I know I'm going to get 125 emails a day. So that'll get me right around 3,000, 3,500 emails. If I want more than that, I can scale that up to $30 a day. And that cost per lead is going to remain about the same. Now, to get there, we have to do a little bit of pruning and tweaking. So up front, it's going to cost us a lot more than that. And even in the giveaway we did recently, Scott, you and I were talking about this. For the first 3 or 4 days, it was like 70, 80 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as we had enough data come through there for me to say, I'm not going to run this to men over 40 anymore, it dropped to 22 cents, right? I mean,
Right.
just like that. And the other thing that we can do if you're running something like Facebook ads, and this is a little bit more advanced, is you can do what's called optimizing for the conversion. And you can actually put a little piece of code on the thank you page inside Giveaway Boost, and Facebook will start only showing your ad to people who look like people who gave you their email address, right? That will bring that cost per lead down, and it makes the entire process significantly easier. Frank also wanted to know, how can I find my target demographic any better? So like we talked about during the presentation, I would start with the interest-based targeting. So start with people who like fishing. Then we need to look at the actual data from the ads to see who is becoming a lead on our list. And that's how we find demographic info. We don't try to guess usually, because every time we guess, we're wrong. Not every time, but
Right.
a lot of the time when we guess incorrectly. Does every email address we collect via Giveaway Boost become a subscriber on ConvertKit? So if I'm successful, I could get 3,000 to 5,000 responses. Does that equal a $79 a month subscription? So on the ConvertKit side, yeah. So generally with email autoresponders, you're paying for the number of subscribers that you have, right? Now, what we typically do is we clean that list out. So we'll send them a handful of emails, and if they're not opening it, we're going to drop them off the list, right? Which means we're going to be able to bring that down. But up front, yes, if you had 5,000 people, you'd be on the 5,000 person plan inside of ConvertKit. Is there a training video about the Shopify integration? Tyler, all you should have to do is reach out to hello@giveawayboost.com. It's a pretty straightforward process. And if you have GoDaddy or HostGator or whoever, I don't know who you bought your domain through, but they all have documentation and videos on exactly how to set that up. Aiden says, I just signed up. Can you talk a little bit about the TAS Breakthrough Live videos that are offered on the back end of that, Scott?
Say that again.
Can you talk a little bit about the TAS Breakthrough Live videos that are on the back of Giveaway Boost? So the other thing that people have the opportunity to jump into there is the videos from the Phoenix event, I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah. In the Phoenix event, the one that we're giving access to there is a workshop with us going through Q&A, and really walking through the entire process. But it's live. It's basically a live environment that we recorded. So it's kind of going through all of this, but at a deeper level, and also with people's businesses.
Yeah, and that I think is the thing. It's a little bit of a broader concept than just this, right? This is the front end of that. In that workshop, we're talking a little bit more about running ads and showing, with people on our team exactly how that process works, as well as some of the stuff about ClickFunnels and how we can build out some of that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can grab that as well. John says, some of the bloggers or influencers, when they ran giveaway campaigns, they'd post the actual entry count on their blog. Yeah, I mean, you can do that if you want to. You could even email that out to the list when you're done. You could say, hey, there, 3,800 of you guys entered. You can absolutely do that. Ada says, I've created a daily planner and I'm having trouble figuring out how to create a relevant contest. I actually think, and I'd have to go back and look at the slide decks, I think, Scott, a daily planner is one of the things that we use as an example in the Giveaway Boost training. If not, there's some other similar things in there. But I would ask Ada, what is your daily planner targeted to? Is it targeted towards the female entrepreneur? Is it targeted towards people who like going to the gym? Or is it just a generic daily planner? That to me would change it, right? If it's targeted towards people who go to the gym, it's a daily planner for gym rats, then we're gonna focus on the fitness niche, right? We need to take it kind of a step up and focus on the niche. Was there anything else, Scott, that you saw that came in recently that you wanted to address really quick before we let everybody else go on with the rest of their day?
Yeah, no, Tyler, I think he was on YouTube commenting. He said, I'm a giveaway boost customer. So Tyler, thank you and congrats. I'm prepping for my first PL launch. If I want to generate 300-ish sales in the first month, what size list should I shoot for? Hoping there's a rule of thumb. Well, again, I'm going to go to what Chris always says. It depends, because it depends on your market and your price point. If you're selling a more expensive product, it's probably going to take more connecting and more follow-ups than if you're maybe selling a $20 or a $30 product. If that's the case, then you just need to get people excited about it. And you probably want to start really prepping them as far as like that you're going to be doing a special for that. Again, that's kind of what we talk about inside of those, 5 different sequences. Is one of those is really about, we call it our 3-day profit push, where basically we're able to allow them to get in early, and then we remind them that it's ending. And then from there, we, let them know at the end that it's going to expire. And so basically we're giving them, I guess we're prepping them so that way they're ready. And when you do that, you have a better chance of selling them. But in the same breath, to answer your question, is if you have 1,000 people, right, to get 300 people to purchase is going to be kind of high. So I would say I would like to see a list of between 5 and probably 8,000 ish. And then I think, depending again on the market that you're in and kind of how your offer is perceived, like what kind of offer are you going to give them? Are you going to give them 40% off, because they are on your list? You're going to make them feel special? Are you going to prep them? Those are the things that you're going to have to do, but there's no guarantee. We did, we were able to sell, we launched like 2 or 3 products very close together. And because of that, our numbers dropped a little bit, but we had one of our products that we did, we were able to sell 300, but you might have another one that you only sell 100, but is that enough to, to be able to push your sales? I would also then, right alongside that, I would be doing, sponsored ads and, pay-per-click and stuff like that. And to get to 300 sales, I don't think that should be a problem.
Well, and that's the part that I wanted to touch on there, Scott, right? If we were able to get 100 sales out of that list, we're going to get the other 200 through Amazon anyway.
Yeah,
right. Because we're going to spike that BSR, we're going to spike our keyword ranking, and that's when the flywheel of the Amazon sales side of that starts to take over.
Exactly.
The goal for me would not to be to generate 300 sales necessarily from that first giveaway. If we can, that's awesome, and that's something we were able to do partially because how we set it up and all of that kind of stuff, right? And it was just kind of an aberration there. But
right,
we can typically get, in any product that we've launched, we've always been able to get our goal of 100. Right. And so our goal is to get us 100 sales over that 3-day period. We've almost always massively exceeded that. But if that's our target, that has always been enough for us to get to a place on the page where we rank organically, to cement that, and then let the Amazon flywheel of organic search and paid search take over and do the rest of that. That doesn't mean we're not going to send more emails to our list and keep collecting on that. Right?
Exactly.
But it does mean that I don't have to.
Right.
Or the next time I mention it, I don't mention that it's on sale and we get a handful from full price sales, right? It doesn't always have to be at a discount when you mention it to the list either. I would target that 50 to 100 units, and that's typically what our target is for.
Yeah. And again, like Chris just said, you're really trying to get that flywheel going. So to get those, 10 sales a day for the first 7 days, that's 70 sales, right? If that's what we get, then that helps us rank depending on, your market and how competitive it is and stuff like that. Again, if you've done your product research, right, you've already kind of known that. Like, you should know how many sales that you need to generate to be ranking, and if you know that number, then that's the number you need to hit. Having 300 sales, that's fine. That's across the board. So maybe you're going to get 150 through your list and 150 through pay-per-click, and then that's going to allow you to start organically getting those. So hopefully that helped. All right, Chris, let's jump back on camera and wrap up. Let's turn off the old screen here.
The old slides.
Yeah, if we can do that. I think they are. Awesome. All right, cool. So guys, like I said, if you have any questions still, this will be on YouTube as well. It should be anyway. You can drop them in the comments there. If you're watching this on a replay, definitely do that. And then that way there, we can come back and answer any questions that you have. You can always email support@theamazingseller.com if you have any questions, especially about giveaway boost, any of that stuff. But I'm really excited about the new feature set that we have built in there. The simplicity of it, I think, is key. And I know Melinda had said that for what we are using it for, it is the simplest, because really we've made it so all you need to do is fill in the blanks and hit publish. And then from there, they are live, and then you can go ahead and start running traffic to those pages and really building that funnel. So this way here, you can start to build that list. And then as far as list building, as far as, communicating with that list and stuff, that's stuff that you're going to be doing and you're going to be learning as you go. We did create, like Chris said, a set of pre-built sequences to help you with that. If you're interested, if you purchase Giveaway Boost, you'll have the option to add those, but you don't have to. But again, it's something that you can start to understand the sequence. And once you build these sequences, you can then rinse and repeat and use those more and more. Again, theamazingseller.com/boost will get you that special discount. If you go to the main giveaway boost page, it will be $97. So definitely go to that link. It will be there. You can go ahead and take advantage of that. If you have any questions, let us know. Chris, anything you want to wrap up with before we sign off?
No, I think that about does it. I know we have a whole bunch of content on the podcast about what we've been doing with this stuff, but if you guys have any questions, make sure that you ask it either here or inside of the Amazing Seller Facebook group over at theamazingseller.com/FB. If you are watching this as a replay and it's on YouTube and you're able to find that, then leave it in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, head over to theamazingseller.com/FB and we'll be there as well.
All right, cool. Yeah, so again, if you have any questions, let us know. If you want to grab Giveaway Boost, head over to theamazingseller.com/boost. And you'll also have all that additional training that we've created there. And you can have access to that. Like I said, it's having Chris there sitting alongside you, helping you set everything up. So you don't have to really think that, how do I set all this stuff up? You're going to know because you're going to walk through it. Also, Chris does a little bit of Facebook training in there as well, just to get your feet wet, get you started, start thinking about who you're targeting and stuff like that. So that stuff is there. Exactly. And then, and you can get started doing that. All right. So that's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up. As always, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. Hopefully you found this valuable and you get out there and you start to build a list, start to build an asset for your business, for your brand, because if you do, you're going to be less dependent on just Amazon and you're going to build something that you own and that you control. All right. So good luck to you. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. And as always, take action. We'll see you guys. Bye.